Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the chapter 2 of history, part 8, Rise of Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution, NCERT question answers. First question: what were the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905? The social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905 was backward. First, social conditions. 85% of Russia's population was agriculturalist. The industry was existent but rarely most of was privately owned. 85% Russian population was engaged in agriculture and industries were there, but private industries mostly. Workers were divided on the basis of their occupation. They mainly migrated to cities for employment in factories. The peasants' community was deeply religious but did not care much about the nobility. They believed that land must be divided amongst themselves. Second, economic condition. What was the economic condition of Russia? Now we will read. Russia was going through bad period economically. Prices of essential goods rises while real wages decreased by 20%, leading to the famous St. Petersburg strike. This strike started a series of events that are together known as the 1905 revolution. During this revolution, there were strikes all over the country, universities closed down, and various professionals and workers established their union of unions, demanding the establishment of a constituent assembly. Now, political condition. What was the political condition there? Political parties were illegal before 1914. The Russian Social Democratic Worker Party was founded in 1898 by socialists who respected Marx's ideas. As we know, what were the Marx ideas? We have discussed in videos. In 1903, this party was divided into two groups. Which were two groups? Mensheviks and Bolsheviks. First, we are to learn this, that Russian Social Democratic Party, Workers' Party was founded in 1898. Then, this party was divided into two groups, Mensheviks and Bolsheviks. The Bolsheviks, who were in majority, were led by Lenin, who is regarded as the greatest thinker on socialism after Marx. Now, next question. In what ways was the working population in Russia different from the other countries in Europe before 1917? Answer. The working population in Russia was different from other countries in Europe before 1917 because not all Russian workers migrated from the villages to work in the industrial sector. Some of them continued to live in villages and went to work daily to the towns. They were a divided group, socially and professionally, and this showed in their dress and manners too. Metal workers were the aristocrats of the working class because their occupation demanded more training and skill. Nevertheless, the working population was united on the front strikes against work conditions and employer training. Now, next question. Why did the Jurist autocracy collapse in 1917? The Tsar, we are talking about the King Tsar. The Tsar first dismissed the initial two Dumas and then packed the parliament with the conservatives, During the First World War, the Tsar took decisions without consulting the Duma. Large-scale casualties of Russian soldiers in the war further alienated the people from the Tsar. Burning of crops and buildings by the retreating Russian armies created a huge shortage of food in Russia. All of these things led to the collapse of the Jurist autocracy in 1917. Thanks. Next questions we will do in our next video.